We've all dreamt of it, haven't we? That one-in-a-million moment. You're rummaging through a dusty box at a car boot sale, or you spot something overlooked in a charity shop, and your heart gives a little thump. Could this be it? Could this be the forgotten masterpiece, the lost artifact, the attic treasure that changes everything? For most of us, it's just a bit of fun. But for one archaeology student who visited the Antiques Roadshow, that dream felt so real, so tangible, that its collapse was nothing short of spectacular. This wasn't just another episode of the beloved show. It was a roller coaster of human emotion, a story of hope, specialized knowledge, and ultimately a crushing public reveal that left the guest physically collapsing in heartbreak. Picture the scene. An eager young woman, her eyes bright with a mixture of hope and academic curiosity, stands before the show's esteemed expert, David Batty. She's an archaeology student, someone who has literally studied the past. This isn't just a casual punt, it's the culmination of her passion. In her hands, she holds an object that feels heavy with history. It's a piece she snagged for a mere £30, $40, at a flea market in southeast London. It was a classic car boot sale find, buried among piles of house clearance junk, ignored by a seller who didn't really seem very interested in it. But she saw something they didn't. "I'd just finished a part-time archaeology course, and I was just really intrigued by it," she explained to David, her voice filled with the thrill of the chase. And here was the detail that hooked her, the clue that convinced her she was right. Because it had sandy earth, I presumed it was some sort of funeral offering. This is the kind of discovery story that fuels the entire antique hunting world. It's the eye for detail, the specialist knowledge that separates the treasure hunter from the tourist. She didn't just buy a trinket, she believed she had rescued a piece of ancient history. The expert David Batty, a man who has seen more fakes than originals, took the piece. He examined it with the careful, practiced eye of a seasoned professional. The camera zoomed in. The piece looked incredible. It had the right shape, the right feel. On the surface, David noted, it seemed to hail from the legendary Han Dynasty of ancient China. He turned to the hopeful student. "It's a very unusual thing. Where did you find it?" After hearing her story, he began his expert analysis, and at first, everything he said seemed to confirm her wildest hopes. He validated her hunch completely. "Indeed, these were grave goods," David confirmed, and you can just imagine the pulse-pounding thrill she must have felt. Grave goods. Almost invariably, they were buried, and having been dug up, you get all this wonderful color building up here. He pointed to the beautiful mottled green and blue patina covering the artifact. "This is cast bronze, and the copper is coming through. That's because of acid attack by the soil." He was, in essence, describing a perfect textbook example of a genuine, millennia-old artifact. He was painting a picture of history, of rituals, of time itself etched into metal. He was validating her £30 gamble, her archaeological training, her eye. He wasn't done. He added more weight, more significance. He explained that if this piece was real, it would have been placed with a highly important official during their burial. This was it. This was the moment. She wasn't just holding a bit of history. She was holding a piece of important history. The air was thick with anticipation. The crowd leaned in. This was the big one. And then the guest, vibrating with hope, asked the million-dollar question, or, in this case, the 2,000-year-old question. How old is it? David Batty's expression didn't change, but his answer was swift, brutal, and utterly devastating. "A couple of years." The words hung in the air for a fraction of a second before they landed. A couple of years. Not centuries, not dynasties, years. The student's face crumpled. The shock was total and physical. This wasn't a polite, "oh dear." This was a raw, visceral reaction. She couldn't hide her heartbreak. She gasped, her knees buckled, and she collapsed, literally fell, onto the expert's shoulder, pressing her face against him as if to hide from the cameras, the crowd, and the awful truth. "Oh no," she cried, her voice muffled by his jacket. "You're joking? Are you joking?" David, to his credit, remained gentle, but he was not joking. The dream was dead. "Oh no, I'm so upset," she exclaimed, the full weight of the public disappointment crashing down on her. "I'm really upset." And then came the line that echoed through the audience, the one that turned this from a simple mistake into a moment of pure, unfiltered human drama. My life is over. It's like a stab to the heart. Let's be honest. Was her life really over? Of course not. But in that second,